Greetings once again, friends and family, wherever you're watching me from. I greet you, and I pray that you are getting blessed every day. You are actually appreciating and learning a lot from this particular program. I appreciate the feedbacks that we have been getting, and as well as the comments, guidances, and everything that you have been giving. It is very, very appreciable and very important, because it makes this particular program go on. And today I'm dealing with one topic that is very crucial and as well as important to the running of business, and as well as managing the supply chain function. And this topic is simply self-management and procurement. It deals with the personal issues within us, because it is prudent to know who you are. It is prudent to know your strengths and weaknesses for you to be able to manage others better. You cannot become a good leader or a good manager if you have not developed your personal leadership skills. It starts with developing those personal leadership skills for you to be able to manage others better, because good leadership actually conditions the ability and the right values within you to operate effectively. So you need to manage yourself, and you can only manage yourself when you know yourself, which is self-management, which is self-knowledge. And self-knowledge is very important, because the greater knowledge you have about yourself, the better understanding you have about the surroundings that are around you, and the better placed you are to react to the pressures or the challenges that come from those surroundings where you are operating. So it is very important. It can never be overemphasized. So today, what we are answering a question: what does self-knowledge mean? What does self-knowledge mean? Self-knowledge simply means, number one, you know who you are. I know who I am. That is self-knowledge. To know who you are, to know who I am. That is self-knowledge. Secondly, we are talking about people's perspective of you, how others view you, how others think about you. That is also part of self-knowledge, because it's not just about knowing who you are. You need to also know, what do people think about me? If I'm going into a negotiation, if I'm going into a business transaction, how will people be able to react to what they know or they perceive me? It is very, very important. The third one is, you need to be aware of how other people are affected by your behaviors. The behaviors are very, very important. These are things that we do not even intend. Sometimes we unconsciously behave in a certain way, and people get affected. So we need to know, if I behave in such a way, how would people be able to behave, to be affected? Emotional intelligence, that is very, very important and critical to the function of the supply chain. The fourth one that you need to know and to manage is how people are affected. Okay, we've talked about how people are affected by your behavior. Now, how do you yourself get affected by other people's behaviors? Because sometimes there are certain people that you just look at, and definitely the way they are behaving at first sight begins to intimidate you. And by the time you enter into a negotiation, or by the time you enter into a contract, management process, you are already defeated. You need to know how to manage, other people's behaviors towards you. Then in that regard, I want us to look at Joseph Lafferty and Harrington's model, self-knowledge model, which they have created, which is called the Johari window. The Johari window is a simple model which actually has got 4 quadrants, and in these 4 quadrants it sets. Now the first one is the arena. Under the arena, we are talking about things known to yourself and things known to others as well. And these things can be, artificial pictures, commonplaces issues, apparent issues, and as well as visible issues. And also going on, there is another quadrant which is called the blind spot. The blind spot is a very important quadrant as well, because it deals with things that you do not know about yourself, but others know about you. Okay, the body language, as it were, issues of outsideness, attitudes. There are certain attitudes that you do not know about yourself, but others know about you. And also embarrassments and all such things are very important to know as you are doing a self-assessment. Then the other one is called the facet quadrant, or the facet quadrant. The facet quadrant is a quadrant that has got things that you know yourself about, but others do not know about. These are things like dreams, knowledge, private life, secrets, biography, and many shame, guilty, taboos, all those things that you may know about yourself and are actually not known to others. So you need to know and understand how to manage this quadrant as well. And there's also the last quadrant, which deals with what we call the unknown quadrant. The unknown quadrant is a quadrant that deals with things that you do not know about, and also other people do not know about you. So it is very, very important. There are those things, and sometimes they come up, and when they come up, they can actually either break you or definitely build you. And these are issues that you do not know about. They are issues that are known and they are yet to happen, and most of the times these are considered to be insignificant, but very, very important to the running of a business as a procurement professional and as well as a business manager. So I've already touched on this. The arena quadrant, actually this is also called an open quadrant, and I've also touched on the blind spot quadrant, which is also referred to as a quadrant of bad breath. A quadrant of bad breath, because sometimes there are certain things that, you know, when you have bad breath yourself, it's very difficult for you to notice it, but other people that you are relating and talking to who are near you will be able to notice those, the smell that is coming from your mouth, which is bad breath. So definitely those are things that needs to be managed for you to be able to excel in the supply chain and also in the running of your business and also in your management skills. And then the facet quadrant, we have already touched on this, and it's called the hidden quadrant, because this is a quadrant definitely where you have your issues underneath which other people do not know about, and the unknown is also very, very important, because it represents the behaviors or motives, or which, you know, which can be recognized, which by me, which cannot be recognized by you and the group. And when they are definitely cannot be recognized by you and the group, they become very dangerous, you know, to the running of a business. They become very dangerous to the management of the supply chain function, you know. So you need to know all this, and because issues are buried deep within the carpet, you cannot know them, you know, and this can easily break you down. It's a dangerous quadrant which needs to be planned for. You need to know how to manage it as a manager. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, most of the details of this particular presentation are coming from a management project complete guide. I think from chapter 10 there you should be able to get most of the information that I've talked about. And if you need any further guidance and any further presentation or help on what I've talked about, you can definitely, if you want any further help, any further guidance on what I've talked about and what we continue talking about and sharing with one another, you can definitely give me a call. You can actually send me a message on LinkedIn. You can send me a message on Facebook. You can as well like our page on YouTube, and definitely there we'll be able to I'll be able to respond, and I'll be glad to help on different matters that relate to procurement, different matters that relate to business, because this is where my heart is. It is to raise a generation, or to inspire a generation of supply chain managers, business managers and entrepreneur managers who are going to just take the world to themselves. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.